Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the moment you've been waiting for, the 10th episode anniversary of Solving Autism's Puzzle. And I'm here with my trusty sidekick Ninja. Hi, everybody! Anyway, I know you guys have been waiting a long time for this episode, and I know that I've kind of been waiting to the last minute to get this video done, but I just want to let you guys know and that I need to get this straightened out. Anyway, I wanted to let you guys know that I've kind of had some other stuff going on, like some college stuff and some Christmas stuff, so it was kind of hard to try to find a perfect time for me to interview my parents. And while I was talking with my mom on my way to my classes, she gave me a good idea to be able to put together the answers to the questions I gave them while I was supposed to interview them. And this is what they told me.
On the road again. Can't wait to get on the road again. Hey guys, it's me. Today I'm here with my beautiful mother, and today I'm going to ask her a couple of interview questions about mostly autism in general, and how she herself felt about me being autistic, and this is just to help be able to let people know how parents are with raising their autistic children, and I really want this to be able to help anyone who is trying to raise an autistic child themselves, or is trying to take care of an autistic person in general. So without further ado, I'm going to ask her my first question. Okay, Mama, did you know anything about autism before I was diagnosed?
No. Even though I was a nurse and went through nursing school in Cincinnati, I didn't learn a whole lot about developmental disabilities and autism spectrum disorder. So luckily, we had a wonderful pediatrician, Dr. O'Malley, that got us started on the right path and helped us get you diagnosed. So that was really the first step, was getting to the right person and working to get you a diagnosis, so we knew what was going on, because we knew that things were a little different. You weren't crawling, you were sort of belly crawling, like you were out in the field somewhere after wild game or something, and you would belly crawl to your crib and spin the springs and watch the springs spin. So we knew that there was something going on, we just didn't know what it was. So we talked to Dr. O'Malley when you were about 2 years old and maybe 3 months. And then we took you out of state to see Dr. Stanley Greenspan, and you probably don't remember that because you were so little. I
probably wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't. I think your older brother remembers that because Will came with us, and John had not come along, and neither had Jeff. So anyway, that's how we got you diagnosed, and he helped us start to understand what we needed to do to help you.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising considering your background as a nurse and being involved in medical school and all that.
Being involved in nursing school, there is a little bit of information that you learn about developmental disabilities when you're going through your pediatric rotation and doing your clinicals, but at that point in time, there weren't as many children and little ones being diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, so there wasn't a lot of theory that I learned in my pediatric rotation or in my clinical.
Yeah, I see. So autism spectrum was sort of alien to you guys, wasn't it?
Right. Daddy and I didn't know about it, and so we had to start researching, and one of the ways that we did some research besides seeing Dr. Greenspan a couple of times with you, by the way, was we also got involved with the Autism Society of Greater Cincinnati, and we were able to talk with parents and go to some meetings and get linked in with some things that we needed to read about so we could understand better. So that was really, really nice to be able to find out about the Autism Society of Greater Cincinnati.
It definitely was. Let me see if I'm still rolling. Okay, we're still rolling. And here's my interview questions, by the way. And I know it's not going to be a surprise to you, Mom, but, well, what I meant to say is it's not going to be a surprise to me to get this answer from you, but did me being autistic change anything for you? And if so, how did it change anything?
Well, it did change. So it did change a lot of things. Number one, we had to spend a good deal of time trying to figure out what we needed to do to help you. So that meant that we decided that I was not going to work full time as a nurse because I wanted to be able to take you to speech therapy and preschool and all the things that we needed to be doing to get you evaluated and get you treatment. So number one, we decided that my work life was going to change and I wasn't going to work full time. I worked a little bit, almost just a little bit under part time. And the other thing is, I think learning about what we needed to do helped us be better parents, because what we did for you really worked well with Will and John too. So the things that we learned that we needed to do for you through speech therapy and occupational therapy, and you did some therapeutic horseback riding, all those things that helped you helped your brothers too. So that was really neat to be able to learn about those things. And then gradually we were able to talk to other parents and help other parents get linked in and get information that they needed for their children with autism. So yeah, definitely changed our life.
Well, I'm really touched by that.
I knew you would be great.
Yeah, okay, let me see here. How did you yourself feel about me being autistic?
I knew there was something different about you, but it didn't change how I felt about you, sweetie. I love you no matter what. Always will, always have, and always will. It just, for me, as your mother, I was finally relieved to understand what was going on, because then we knew what we needed to do. And now look at you now, because of all the early intervention, all the preschool, you've been in school all day, all your life since you were 3 years old, and all those things that we did, you're able to accomplish the things that you want to be doing now, and you're at Sinclair at a community college getting a degree that you want to get. So, you know, all those things that we did early on mattered, and I'm really glad that we did those things. I wouldn't change a thing.
I wouldn't either. Okay, so let's see, we got 3 more questions to go. What good did you believe came out of me being diagnosed with autism? And this is a surprise either, but go ahead.
Well, I kind of have talked about that already. I think that learning about what you need to do for your child with the autism spectrum disorders helps you to understand how and what all kids need to thrive, you know, as it relates to speech and movement and learning how to tie your shoe and button your shirt and all those things that we learn to help you in physical therapy and speech therapy and occupational therapy and preschool. All those things that we learned, we realized that all kids need to be learning about. We just needed to be more intentional for you, and we needed to repeat some things a little more often. So that was what was different, was that, you know, sometimes for you, when you learn something, you needed to do it a few more times to really learn it. And that's what the professionals that we were working with taught us. And of course, you went to a really good school system. It was fantastic that we ended up being in Mason City Schools, because we learned a lot from them too. And you had such a fantastic experience going through Mason City Schools. And also Abilities First when you were little. Being there when you were 3, 4, 5, and 6 years old, they were able to do the things for you that needed to happen. And those were all wonderful things, and we met some really neat people all along the way. So, and we continue to, because of you.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate that. And plus, it kind of definitely makes sense, because I wasn't able to learn how to tie my shoes till I was like 16 years old.
Well,
it's not that I didn't try; it's just I couldn't get the hang of it.
Yeah, do you remember when you learned how? Do you remember what you were doing? All these years we had it on your IEP, your individual education plan. All those years we had that as occupational therapy goals. And finally, when did you learn, Greg? Do you remember?
Tie my shoes?
Yes.
Pretty much when I was in high school, when one of my friends from drama club pretty much taught me.
Yeah, while you were in the play Our Town, correct?
That's right.
Yeah, so you know what? We all learn to do different things on our own time schedules, and sometimes we need to keep that in mind too. So there you go.
Yeah, and that's not just for autism. Everyone kind of learns differently.
That's right. Everybody learns things differently. Everybody has a different way of learning. Some people understand better when they see things, understand better when they touch things, and you seem to be the kind of person that likes to learn by seeing something and touching it. And people that worked with us helped us figure that out for you.
Cool. Oh, and well, I thought this was 2 sentences. Pardon my typing. And my last question: what advice would you give to those who have a child with autism, who lives with someone with autism, or is associated with someone with autism?
Well, I don't know if I have advice. I guess I would just say that, number one, it's your family member and you love them, and that's part of being a family. Number two, if you have a child that's just getting diagnosed, just take time and figure out what you need to be doing. Take time to understand what you can do to get more support and therapy for your child while you're loving them and caring for them, and just understand that it doesn't really change the person that they are. It's just a part of who they are, and we all were created, with different talents and skills, and also some things that we struggle with sometimes. So, the children that are part of the autism spectrum, and really other challenges and disabilities too, are just individuals that end up learning things in a different way sometimes, and we just need to take time to understand that and not be so judgmental. I know sometimes it's hard for parents when their child gets diagnosed, and sometimes they need a little extra help when that happens. They need to get some help from other family or other or even organizations, or even professional support. So parents should keep that in mind too.
That's definitely some good advice, Mom.
Thank you. I'm not really much of an advice giver, but that's what I would say about it.
Well, thank you, Mom, for allowing me to be able to interview you about this, and that should definitely be able to help anyone be able to understand what autism is like, and understand how parents with autism feel about their children, and how they want to be able to help their own children with autism, or anyone at all who associates with autism. And next time, Dad will be my next victim. Kidding aside, though.
Glad to be a victim, Greg.
All joking aside, I'll see you guys later when I interview my dad, and I'll be able to get some advice from him on what he believes on being able to take care of someone with autism, or being associated with someone with autism, or being around someone with autism. So, I'm Greg Miller, and I will see you next time.
And I'm Sue Miller, and I will be watching for you next time.
As you always will.
Bye!
Hey, what's up, guys? It's me again, and this time I'm here with my dad, and I'm going to be asking him a couple of questions on just things that he's just basically his opinions on raising me, someone with autism, and what it's like to be a parent with autism or be associated with someone with autism. And the first question I want to ask you, Dad, is did you know anything about autism before I was diagnosed with it?
No, I didn't know anything about it.
Okay, and did me being autistic change anything for you? And if so, how?
Yes, it changed a lot, because to find out first how you were going to be, then we had to make sure to try to get help for you, and then get the help for you, and then make sure that we know what to do and how to bring you out of autism. found Dr. Greenspan to help us guide in that part of it. He was a very prominent autistic doctor back when you were 2 years old in Washington, D.C. And he told us how some things we can do and interact with you and get you to start getting out of autism. And I'm not looking at the camera because I'm driving.
Well, that's fine. You don't need to.
And as you got older, we were able to team up with Mason City Schools, who helped transition from year to year. You were more receptive more year to year to help you learn and come out of your autism. You also had occupational and physical therapy through Children's Hospital.
Yeah, I've also had that through Mason City Schools as well.
Yes, that's right. And then also, as being a parent, always worrying about how are you going to be in the future and things we have to strive for and for you to become an adult. It's always been a worry.
I see. And how did you yourself feel about me being autistic?
At first scared, not knowing how badly autistic you were, if we can do anything with you, or you can be normal, sort of speak, be able to be like your brothers or your brother at the time. But after a while, got knowing that we can deal with it and you can get better. But we're still worried about how it will hinder you when you get older.
Yeah, I kind of understand that, since I still kind of carry some of the burdens of autism even to this day, and that's something else about autism, is that it always stays with you no matter what.
Yep.
Well, here's something I want to ask you, Dad. What good did you believe came out of me being diagnosed with autism?
Good is because you are very well-mannered and very friendly and open individual. You really don't have any hate. You don't hate people.
Absolutely not.
You like everyone. You talk to everyone. You got your grandpa, your papa genes in them. You'll talk to anybody and everybody. I think that's a bonus for you being autistic. Everybody loves you because you're so nice, so mild-mannered, and so easygoing.
Well, that's nice. And one last thing. What advice would you give to those who have a child with autism, who lives with someone with autism, or is associated with someone with autism?
To get help as fast as you can, intervene as fast as you can, because the quicker you get help, the better chance you get to bring your child out of autism. When your mother and I got you interacted and involved at 2.5 years old, and helped pay it off. So that's my best advice. And then don't treat your child like it's a disabled child. Treat him as a normal child. Don't be afraid to discipline him. And don't be afraid to sugarcoat. Don't sugarcoat them at all. You gotta treat them like normal, or they'll stay disabled.
Well, that's some pretty sound advice, and those are some pretty sound answers from you, Dad. I'm glad that I got to be able to interview you, and I'm very glad that I got to be able to show just how my parents be able to go through the process of raising someone with autism. I'm glad that I got to show that to you guys, so that you know exactly how parents with autism should be able to treat their child with autism, and basically to someone who should be able to look at autism the way they should be looked at. Anyway, though, I'm glad you guys got to watch my videos. I'm glad that you got to watch this video in particular, since it's my 10th episode with Solving Autism's Puzzle. And also, another thing, please be able to support the Autism Society. They've done so much for me, and they've done so much for my family, and they've done so much for families who have people with autism. So show your support by going to their website. The link is in the description. Or you can check out my website for Solving Autism's Puzzle, which is solvingautismspuzzle.weebly.com, just to be able to know what episodes I'm going to be doing next. And if you're not able to find it, don't worry, the link's going to be in the description. My name is Greg Miller, and I will see you next time.
So those are the answers to the interview questions I gave to my parents. Now, now I was fortunate enough to be able to be a part of this great family, and I've been fortunate enough to experience what I've experienced, and I've regretted absolutely nothing that I've done. And I've been looking forward to so much more in the future, and I hope that Solving Autism's Puzzle will be a part of it, because this is basically my way to be able to help show people with autism that there is someone who's out there who wants to listen to you, and who feels the same way you feel, and has challenges themselves, and and wants to show everyone what autism is about. So, if you think this is the end of Solving Autism's Puzzle, you're sadly mistaken, because I'm just getting started with Solving Autism's Puzzle. And and I hope that there's more and more people that... I hope that as time goes on, Solving Autism's Puzzle can get a lot more notoriety than it already has. Like, it's only had like 121 views so far. So, well, all together, I'd say the only ones that I've had that have the most is like episode 4, episode 2, who have like 25 or 39 views. So, I hope that more and more views start rolling in as I'm continuing with Solving Autism's puzzle, but to me it really doesn't matter one bit how many people be able to see my videos, because I want Solving Autism's Puzzle to be for people who want to know about autism, and people who need to know about autism, because autism is something that's growing. It's becoming more and more common in our society, even as I speak. But it's nothing to be ashamed of, because it really gives you that certain incentive to be able to make yourself a lot stronger. So I hope that where I'm going in the future, I hope that nothing is able to sidetrack me, and I hope that I get to accomplish everything that I want to accomplish. And I hope that this video touches so many people's lives, and I hope this video, well, all of these videos, I hope Solving Autism's Puzzle as a whole is able to at least show someone something about autism in a new light. And I hope that Solving Autism's Puzzle is able to show someone that there is still hope in people with the lives of autism. So, I'm Greg Miller, and I will see you next time. The clips used in this video has no copyright intentions whatsoever. All clips in this video belong to their intended owners. Each clip in this video are for entertainment and educational purposes only.